Oh shit, I'm hungry. What's my address for work? Fucking Van Dyke Technology Group. Find food. Oh fuck, they don't know where that is. But Google Maps knows. But do I even want to fucking go to Google Maps? No. All right, so I'm gonna make something to do that. So, I let's see. The first thing I need to do is think about Google Maps API. So, I'm gonna just do. Let's see. Let's close this. Take this here. Um, and do a new window. This. And then let's say Google Maps search uh, get address API. So then you're like geocoding, and you're like, the fuck is that? And then reverse geocoding. But I'm going to skip you the trouble of looking through that because apparently that's taking an address that you already have and getting longitude and latitude, or the reverse. So it's not exactly what we want. Uh, so I don't remember the search that I did that finally gave me the API that I wanted. I think it's um, I think it's I was like Google Places API. The way that I found that is I don't remember how I found it, but they call places what the thing that basically like their index of all the businesses and uh, their addresses and all that shit, which is loaded into Google Maps when you search them. So basically, look, there's the link. I already clicked it. Place search. There's a simple API for it, uh, and so I'm like, all right. There's two types of. There's like search nearby. I don't really care about. I want to search globally. Oh, text search requests. So that takes the form of a website, text search, output, parameters. Okay, so the output is either JSON and XML. JSON's that thing I showed you that's bracketed. Um, which is nice because you can easily access it with brackets. Um, you'll see. And the internet here is really slow. So then you could do, um, yeah. So anyways, what the parameters are the query and the key. So you need to get a key. If you go up here and you have a Google account, you get a key, and they'll give it to you. You have to create a project on all this stuff because you always do that whenever you want to get keys. They always tell you which project is it using. So then you get your key, and you're like, okay, so I know what I need to send, and I know where I need to send it. So let's, uh, where was that? Text search requests. So I'm going to copy that. Oh, by the way, if you tap the mouse 3 times on a link that's on any text that's on one line, it selects the entire line. Just triple tap. It's a good way to copy things quickly. So um, you go here, and this is something called Postman, which lets you basically enter any website and get back what the data that the website sends back. So here, this isn't exactly the actual thing. They told us in the API and the documentation, they're like, output has to be either JSON or XML. We're going to use JSON, and then the parameters have to be like query and key. So let's say we want output as JSON, and then we want parameters are going to be query and then key literally, and then we're going to paste the key that we had. Where was my key? I have it elsewhere though. But see, this is Alfred. It's fucking awesome. You don't have to ever like copy and paste it. You're like, copied it once. All right, so um, You see, so we have the key, and then we go to Postman, and then we put it in here, and then let's say this is my use case. I would have entered Van Dyke Technology Group, um, and then send it, and there you go. Too bad it wasn't super surprising because it was already on the screen, but you could be like, what's a place that only exists in one place? I have no idea. I wonder if you can do a near search, like just do no, probably not. Let's see what happens with that. Oh, well, actually, looks like we get an array of results, so that's actually kind of cool. So these are all the Safeways near there. So you basically, it's the same thing as typing into the box in on the Google website. And so the reason we're writing this is to make that thing one step faster. And I'm going to write something for Alfred. So Alfred lets me do stuff like search tabs and like get all the tabs list, or like so I want to write something for Alfred. So Alfred lets you write these things. Here's all the different like add-ons that people have written, and this is how you do it. You basically, I'm going to recreate what's up here, so I can do it in parallel underneath. So you're like triggers, and then you're going to be like hotkey. Oh, it's because I already have this. So let me just copy this real quick. So you can be like input keyword. Okay, so the keyword would be like Google Maps search. I just want to use one S, and then you're like search places API get address. And then you'd save that. And then you're like, okay, so now I have a keyword. That's the input trigger. So then you drag it to like, so then we're going to be like, let's create a script. So then we're like, okay, script filter. That's what an input is to a keyword. So we're like, oh, I actually want a script filter. That's more complex. I want an action, run script. Okay, so then you choose your language. We're using Python. And you know what's really awesome about Postman is like you can just do this after you've created a query for this. You can just press generate code. They take it in for you. They import the request library, which is a library that lets you basically send a URL and get back data, and then parse that data into JSON or whatever, like however you like. So this is like what Python, everybody who uses Python uses to like interact with the internet. And so they just generated something for us. We don't care about this. Like, I don't think that Google cares if I'm using Postman and I'm not. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go put this in my script. So this is where you would really start. This would almost be enough. You're almost done already at this point. But if you remember, like the format of the stuff that you're getting back looks like this. So you might want to open it in a text editor. So I already created a folder for this project, and I already have a Python script in it. So it's in my script editor over here, and it's not much different than what I already posted. You can, so the only thing that I've done that's different is when you get a response URL, you want to see how do I get the data out of the thing that I just got. I don't know if my thing is not well configured, um, but usually in like editors, like if you were to type response, you would get like a list of stuff that would actually, oh, it's finally working. Okay, so then you're like, you have a list of all the things that you can get, and then you can also see what they do. This is nice. These are the method calls that are responsible to a response object. So then you're like, okay, JSON returns the JSON encoded content of a response. All right, because we know that we're getting JSON because we know that the thing is formatted like that. Um, Look how awesome that is. I had like a million windows open and now I just got to where I wanted to be from just like a keyword. Anyway, so yeah, we know that it looks like this, so we need to take a look at it. So let's say we already know that the place uh, that we're searching for only has one result. Uh, it could be a lot simpler. If we want to enable like searching for multiple results, we're going to have to handle that and like maybe return it back to Alfred like the way that this works. Um, let's see. Uh, when I type Giphy and I say cats, this is a script filter. This is different than using a script and then outputting something. A script filter lets you run code and return the results inside of Alfred as a list. So that would be ideal for the place search when you're searching for multiple places. Like as you type, it could like basically have these addresses load and you could select the correct one. That's more advanced than what I'm going to do right now because I just want to do it so that every single time I fucking eat food, I can just type Van Dyke Technology Group or whatever and have, or like, you know, any place that you know only exists one place on Google Maps. It's a simple enough use case to start with before you develop the rest. Uh, and I'm going to be using it immediately because I feel like it, and this is just sharpening my skills. So, anyways, we're not making one of these things. We're making one that's just going to paste to your clipboard. So we're going to look at the query, the exact query that I'm basically going to build for. Uh, I'm going to send it, take a look at what's going to come back. All right, so we got a results, and then it's very simple. It's just results and formatted address. So um, let's go back to our Python, and then like so we know we have this JSON object. This is a function that gives us that structure, um, and so then we look at this and we're like, okay, first thing is results, and the second thing is formatted address. All right, this should give us exactly what we want. So let's test this script filter in the over here. So you type Python script.py. List indices must be integers, not string. What the fuck is J? What did I actually get here? Let's see. This looks like. Oh, okay. Well, there is an index. It's the first. It's a list denoted by that. I didn't notice that. It's still a list index of 0, which means the results isn't always an array, which is always a list. So it's the 0th, and everything in computer science is like 0 index, so 0 is the first one. So the thing that I had before is all good, except I need to put the first result, right? I mean the first thing in the results list. Um, this should be correct, I think. Results, number 1, formatted address. Now let's try it. Alright, there we go. We got my work address. So now we're going to take this and we're going to put it in Alfred. And that should be enough to. So now, look, notice this is important. I had this hard-coded. Hard-coded means just written in there, but we need to take the actual query that people are typing when they use this command. And so query provides the way to pass that, the thing that you type from here, into the script. So now this should work for anything that people type, but it's not going to work for things where, well, actually, it's always going to get the first result. That's what it's going to do. That's going to be the behavior. So that safe research would return the first result, the closest one, I guess. So that's not even bad behavior. So, so after we do that, now the only thing that we need, like, think this script now is better than my other one, so I'm just going to delete that. Look, so now we have, like, I'm just delete this for a second. We connect the keyword input to the script, and then this, we want to create maybe some output, and we're like, they can basically be like post notification, and be like Google Maps places. Your result, your address result has been copied to the clipboard. Alright, so that's going to be one output, and then we also want to actually copy it to the clipboard, so let's do copy to clipboard. Query, that's the thing that's going to be the last thing that, like, it's basically the output that's printed, like, in the shell. So whatever the shell prints is what is going to come out as the next, like, variable called query to the next step. So this should be complete. Let's see. Google search places get address. Van Dyke Technology Group. And then you see Google Maps address has been copied to your clipboard, and then now it should be here. Bam, there it is. Okay, so now whenever I'm like Van Dyke Technology Group on a website that doesn't understand me because they're not using Google's API, I just press Command A, Command Copy, Google Maps Search, tab, Van Dyke Technology Group. Now it gets copied, and now I just paste that here, and now I can find food. There's probably no food over here. But anyways, there you go.